Greetings of peace from Student Affairs Center. I'm your Dean of Students, Homer C. Balmes, and once again welcome you to a new episode offering of Trinitian Knows 2022. Trinitian Knows are well-curated student support, video-based content, and webinar discussion and sharing about different topics intended for various stakeholders in the university. For this afternoon, our key theme is about responsible digital citizenship. I will be the one to share with you about this topic. So let's start first with identifying who are the digital citizen. So it's important for us to ascertain and situate ourselves, especially in the context of the way we do, no? Lalo na doon sa sitwasyon natin sa kasalukuyan, that we are still in the pandemic and maybe more or less we are engaging and using hybrid platforms nowadays. So digital citizens are those with smartphones engaging in either social media, online education, gaming, or other digital accounts. And all of us are we're able to transition, no, from our regular face-to-face classes pre-pandemic to something like an online platform, pure online platform on the recent years during the pandemic, 2020, 2021, and to the half of 2022. So it is important for us to look into ways, because this is our platform right now, and it is important for us to understand how we should behave, no, as responsible digital citizens. Okay, so in the context of the responsible digital citizenship, these are means of taking part in online community life, no? And that is safe, that is ethical, and that is respectful. So it is important for us to maintain, especially in engaging with classes. For example, if we're using the format for education, diba? So mahalaga na i-maintain our educational platforms, online community life, as safe, ethical, in a way na we look into ways that respects other people's rights as well. Diba? We don't discriminate, we don't bully anyone. Diba? So napaka-importante ng mga ng context ito. No? It is also important for us to look into ways to have a safe online community life. And of course, that includes securing your privacy, your personal identity. That is why if you will see predominantly in the works that we do, for example in education, there are lots of layers for security, no, that we put into. Of course, important for password privacy, the location privacy, no. That is why most of our educational platforms are exclusive to the internal community only. So hindi nalalaman ng iba usually yung ating mga links, no, because it's not for public. Online friends versus real life friends. That's another context of having a safe online community life. Why? Because if you're using the online as a ways to communicate with others, diba? To socialize, to have friends. So it is important for us to look into the context of social media intimacy. Okay? And of course, there are a lot of things that happen in like the online scams, no? Dating apps, identity theft. So there are ways na reports that has been noted na merong ibang muka, and diba? And using different identities. And of course, do sa context of our communication with friends. There are also instances na merong mga hacking ng mga accounts, social media accounts, or something like posting previously posted situations asking for help, monetary help, diba? For online scams, diba? So it's important for us to really look into ways to have a safe and secure community online community life. It is also important that in the ways that we communicate, that we need to think before we click. Okay? Think before you click. Think is what I'm about to post is true? So important to consider na totoo ba yung pinopost natin. Baka mamaya we are also deceived of a certain post that we receive. No? Totoo kaya ito? So we need to validate. We need to think critically. So for all clinicians there, it's importante na meron tayong context of reality. No? Is what I'm about to post helpful? Makakatulong kaya ito? Is it something like you post to inform other people? Diba? And to help them for information. Is what I'm about to post inspiring? Nakaka-inspire kaya ito ng ibang tao? Is what I'm about to post necessary? Diba? Necessary ba? May pangailangan ba dito for information? Is what I'm about to post is kind? So, there are things na somehow posted to hurt other people. Somehow yung mga rant, yung mga commentary, yung mga issues or concerns. So, importante na i-weigh natin. Magkaroon tayo ng level of discernment. Ipopost ko ba something like makakatulong sa akin? Kung gusto ko lang naman talaga is to inform other people of ways or to improve something like a service, kailangan bang idaan sa social media? Diba? So, good citizens. In the context that we build that concept of being good digital citizens, it's important for us to behave respectfully. Diba? Respect for yourself and other people is important in all relationship. And it's no different when you're online. Hopefully, in the way that you communicate yourself offline or online should be with accordance with certain values. No? Treat online friends with as much respect as face-to-face friends. Do not create or forward nasty or humiliating emails. Diba? Yung mga black propaganda. Something like images or text about someone else. Diba? That doesn't involve you in the first place. So block or unfriend people who don't treat others with respect. This sends the message that it's not okay to mistreat or bully someone online. So it's important that we stand our ground. That we do not tolerate this context of cyberbullying in our online platforms. No? Protect your reputation and privacy. So it is important that we understand the consequences of posting photos and videos and uploading other personal contents online. So we need to protect our reputation. And somehow, anything that is posted online kasi is there to stay for long. Especially kung meron ng nag-screen grab niyan. So, we need to be responsible. Diba? And of course, watch our tone. It's often hard to read emotions in posts and emails, and jokes can easily be misinterpreted. So, it's important to stop, think, review before you sending a message or post in an online comment. Using emojis or hashtags can help. So, importante to contextualize. Is it something like, para kanino ba? In one or the other, if we're trying to communicate with a person that we know, it's different to the ways that others might misinterpreted it or our posts. Diba? So, it's important na tingnan din natin, we validate our tone. And of course, we need to be skeptical. Hindi lahat na nakikita, napapanood ay pinaniniwalaan. Okay? So, teaching our children or kayo mismo, Krinisyano, to be skeptical. Do not believe everything they read, see, or hear. There's a context of discernment. It's important for us to reflect. Tama ba to? Totoo kaya to? We need to validate, no? Especially during this time of the season or period of fake news, diba? So it's important to look into ways that we realize that we are all really digital citizens, no? So when you're at school, you use your personal device for educational purposes only, hopefully, diba? So you'll be attending a limited face-to-face sometime soon here in the university. So please make sure that we use our personal device for educational purposes only. So as not um, to to be in conflict with the use of our Wi-Fi technology here in campus. Okay? And of course, to keep your device safe and secure at all times. So, you should listen to our gut, no? I make sure that I am safe and appropriate when I am online. So, in the context of visiting websites, diba? We need to look into ways na kailangan we need to be conscious na lahat ng ginagawa natin we're actually safe and appropriate, no? So I listen to my head. I will protect my private information and the information of other people. So once it was shared, diba, during class discussion, it is not meant to be shared outside the classroom or on the online platform. I listen to my heart. I respect myself and others when I'm online. I use kind words and remember that my digital footprint should not harm others. Diba? So, in the ways that we practice or we exercise our rights, no, it should not in one way or the other harm others. Diba? I stand up and say no to cyberbullying. I will not tell an adult or someone is being unkind or harmful. Diba? So it is important for us to look into ways that we do not tolerate cyberbullying in our platforms. Why? Because it is important for us to look into ways, no, that we support the community, diba? The Trinitian community that is in support of our of a safe platform for everyone. So there are university policies that is important that we reminded of. Okay, because there are certain established expectation. There are general tradition norms and general behavior, and the conduct of oneself in a manner that respects the rights and freedom of others, whether on or off campus, online or face to face. So as a community, we endeavor to maintain a peaceful and caring environment for all. Diba? Hence, all were expected to accord due respect for persons, property, policies, norms, practices, and authority in the university. Of course, as a university, we follow a certain decorum, processes, and rules. Diba? So respect all peoples without prejudice against their sex, gender, religion, creed, race, status, political affiliation, any form of disability, age, and other attributes in all dealings in campus or online. So that is why we are fighting against cyberbullying, diba? So cyberbullying or any bullying done through the use of technology or any electronic means. The term should also include any conduct resulting in harassment, intimidation, or humiliation through the use of other forms of technology such as but not limited to texting, email, instant messaging, chatting, internet, social media, online games, and other platforms or formats, including that educational platforms. So it's important that it is in accordance with the Anti-Cyberbullying Act. Okay? So cyberbullying refers to any acts of cruelty committed using the internet or any form of electronic media or technology that has the effect of stripping one's dignity or causing reasonable fear or physical or emotional harm. Okay, so it's important to look into ways how we can look at that the way that we communicate should be in accordance with the set rules by not only our institution but by the national laws. No? There are also ways that it has been established, no? Or the Anti-Bastos Law or the Safe Spaces Act. This law pushes for safer cyberspace as well. No? Gender-based online sexual harassment includes acts that use information and communication technology to frighten victims through physical or psychological emotional threats, unwanted sexual misogynistic, transphobic, homophobic, and sexist remark, okay, and comment online, whether or on public post or through private messages. So important na very conscious tayo sa mga ganito. Diba? Invasion of victims' privacy through cyber stalking and incessant messaging. Recording or sharing any of the victims' photos, videos, information without permission, impersonating victims' identities, and posting lies about victims to harm their reputation, and filing false abuse reports to online platforms to silence victims. So there are ways that we need to look into. No? There are common cyberbullying tactics. No? Posting a mean or unflattering picture or video of a classmate. So we need to be watchful. No? Posting rumors or starting a rumor on social media platform, even in your personal or private group chat. No? So very, very important na we look into this na hindi natin pinag-uusapan ng ibang tao sa loob ng mga group chat sessions na yan. So threatening people via text messages, outing someone for their sexual orientation, for gender identity. Madalas din sa group chat may mga ganyan. Sending messages telling someone to kill themselves, diba? And pretending to be someone else online in order to friend and then expose someone. So how can you be liable? So there is a university process that we can look into, diba? From a verified complaint filed against a student in the university. So usually it is being referred to the home college for the college discipline board. No? Conduct case conferences as needed. And since this cyberbullying is categorized as major offense, it may be considered for actions or sanctions with probation, with automatic suspension not more than 21 school days in case of violation or conditions imposed thereof, punitive suspension for a period of not more than 21 school days, dismissal from the university, or expulsion. So a legal action filed in the court of law is also a possibility. So the penalty of prison correctional in its medium period, or a fine of not less than 100,000 pesos but not more than 500,000, or both at the discretion of the court, shall be imposed upon any person found guilty of any gender-based online sexual harassment. This is pertaining to the anti-bastos law. So, depending on the context of the laws or provisions of the laws being violated, so there's a corresponding court decisions, no? So generally it is important for us to be able to ascertain that there are things that we need to observe, especially in the context of responsible digital citizenship. In attending to this being responsible digital citizen, it is important for us to take note of the 9 elements of digital citizenship. Of course, the context of our digital access, in the ways that we do things and access digitally, our online accounts, our social media pages, the digital commerce, the context of how we do business, engaging our paying certain things, no, for digital commerce, digital communication. There's a context as well of how we look into digital literacy. How do we understand the things digitally, and its interplay in the use of technology, diba? Digital etiquette in the context that we engage ourselves with other people online. Digital law. There's also digital wellness. In one or the other, it's important for us to know that there are things that we need to detach digitally for social well-being exercises, no? digital rights and responsibilities. Though we have certain accountability, we also have certain rights and responsibilities digitally, of course. And of course, in the context of securing our or looking into our digital security. So, with all these things, and as we navigate through this new platform of engagement, it is important for us to realize that we need to understand more about this digital environment. And for us to understand more about this digital environment, we need to engage ourselves in the process of learning, relearning, and unlearning the context of how we do things online. So, for anything that will relate you or us with certain processes concerning the university, so please feel free to reach us through our online platforms as well. No? So you can also send us a call at 8702-2882 local 432-431 for any concerns. Reach us by our email sac@tua.edu.ph, acbalmes@tua.edu.ph, or through our social media pages. Our Facebook at TUASAC. So that's a quick rundown of things that we need to understand in the context of us being digital or responsible digital citizens. So thank you very much for the time, and I hope you're able to realize or learn something about our discussion this afternoon. And here we end another Clinician Knows offering this afternoon. Please stay tuned for more learning insights and key discussion inputs by following our Student Affairs Center Facebook and YouTube pages. You can get a certificate by answering the evaluation link posted in our social media accounts. Thank you very much, and may God bless you and your family always.